Enlightenment requires losing parts of ourselves. For many, the path to enlightenment begins with a profound loss or collapse. This journey is not just about gaining insight, but also about mourning what must be left behind. The path to enlightenment requires a profound and genuine loss, a dissolution of identity, relationship, or cherished story. This loss is not merely symbolic, but deeply personal, akin to the grief experienced in the Buddhist tradition, when one confronts the impermanence of all things. The ego must mourn the attachments it once clung to, a process that involves the psychological mechanism of separation anxiety. This mourning is not just about letting go, but about deeply feeling the loss, allowing the body and mind to confront and integrate this transformation. The cost is not just emotional, but a complete shift in one's being, a reorientation that can only come through the honest experience of grief. Access to enlightenment is frequently intertwined with material security, cultural background, and social standing. Throughout history, those fortunate enough to have the time and resources have been more likely to embark on this path. For instance, in Zen Buddhism, the privilege of a stable life has historically allowed practitioners to dedicate themselves to meditation and contemplation. In contrast, individuals grappling with immediate survival challenges often cannot afford the luxury of spiritual exploration. This disparity underscores the systemic barriers to enlightenment. The path is not equally accessible to all, and this inequality must be acknowledged. Additionally, the psychological mechanism of learned helplessness can further entrench these disparities, making it even more challenging for those in adverse circumstances to seek spiritual growth. Current cognitive science and neuroscience offer insights into the brain processes underlying enlightenment. Research by figures like Richard Davidson and his work on meditation and brain activity reveals changes in neural pathways. These studies confirm that meditation can alter brain function, but they also complicate the narrative by suggesting that enlightenment is not a singular state, but a dynamic process. The science confirms the transformative power of meditation, but also highlights the complexity of the brain's role in spiritual experiences. Buddhism, specifically the Zen tradition, addresses the dissolution of the ego through practices like Zazen and Koan study. Figures like Dogen and Hakuin emphasize the importance of sitting meditation and the paradoxical nature of enlightenment. Zen practice navigates the dissolution of the ordinary self, a process that purely contemplative traditions often miss. The Zen tradition teaches that enlightenment is not a static state, but a continuous process of transformation. The human mind resists enlightenment because it challenges the very foundation of identity. This tension is akin to the Zen koan, which uses paradox to disrupt habitual thinking. The need to both hold and let go of the self is a central challenge, much like the psychological mechanism of attachment theory, where the self clings to identity for security. This bind is the core of resistance, and it is precisely this paradox that must be navigated to truly embody the insight. For instance, a person might grapple with the realization that their sense of self is both deeply cherished and ultimately illusory, a struggle that can only be resolved through embracing the inherent contradictions. The path to enlightenment is a journey of loss, privilege, and transformation, one that challenges the very essence of identity.